What's up guys, it is your boy Zachary McAllister here today, and today we're going to be looking at 5 guys the Orlando Magic front office should be looking at to draft. Now, after the trade deadline last season, it became pretty much official that the Orlando Magic were moving into a deep rebuild, and that makes this process particularly exciting. The Magic are probably going to be looking to draft guys with high upside, even if the floor might be pretty low. So, with that in mind, let's get into the video. The first guy I'm going to suggest is Keon Johnson out of Tennessee. Johnson is 6'5" with a 6'8" wingspan, and in his solo season in college, he averaged 25.9 points, 8 rebounds, and 5.7 assists per 100 possessions. He also shot 44.9% from the field and 27.1% from 3. Johnson is very athletic at the rim and can get upstairs to throw it down. He is also good at attacking the rim off the catch, although he doesn't have a particularly great first step, and for all his vertical athleticism, he struggled to get separation. He also struggled with contact and sometimes won't fully commit to attacking the rim. He loves the mid-range though. He's shown the ability to create his own shot, a good sign for someone who could potentially be a high-level scorer in the future. He likes the turnaround jumper as well, and can throw these in when he's in the post. For all the good he gives with the mid-range shot, he takes a lot of it away with the three-point shot. He took a few and made considerably fewer. For a guard ranked as highly as he is, this is a big concern, and if it doesn't come along, it'll definitely put a ceiling on how good he can be as a scorer. Even off the catch, it's still not great. This will be a big problem for a Magic team that doesn't have a lot of shooting to begin with, especially at the guard positions. His cutting off the ball is very intelligent as well. He's good in transition and can use his speed and athleticism here. He also throws in a couple in and out dribbles and hezzies to help him get to the basket. His athleticism translates to the defensive end as well. He can get really high to swat some shots, and he slides his feet nicely and can stay in front of his guy well, so I think he could end up being a nice on-ball defender. He fights through on and off-ball screens well, and likes to stick his hand out every now and again to pick guys' pockets. Overall, if things click with Johnson, I think he could be a really nice high upside player. However, if they don't, he could just be another mediocre guard that the Magic have stuck on their roster. The next guy I'm going to suggest is Jalen Johnson out of Duke. Johnson averaged 30.4 points, 16.4 rebounds, and 6 assists per 100 possessions, while shooting 52.3% from the field and 44.4% from 3. Johnson is a high-level athlete and possesses some serious lift. He's definitely a guy that can play above the basket. He's a really strong and fluid athlete, and that fluidity is why he looks so good on the basketball court. Finishing at the basket is not a problem for him, and he was able to put the ball in the basket from close range consistently, even through contact. He runs the floor hard, and his handle is exceptional for a guy that big. He's trouble for defense when he gets ahead of steam going to the basket, and his burst is very deceptive and can beat guys with the dribble. His footwork on the perimeter could use some work though. I think there's potential for him to be able to hit open threes to the next level. For now, his best hope lies in the catch and shoot though, not at the dribble. He hit long twos consistently, so I'm somewhat confident he could stretch those shots out to beyond the arc. He's a very smart passer, and he made some nice cross-court passes and found cutters regularly. He's a high IQ playmaker from the post. He can handle the ball off the grab and go, and he's so much fun to watch when he gets going in the open floor. His dribble in the half court will need some work though. The rim protection is absolutely there. He sneaks up on guys and comes up with blocks and contests consistently. He anticipates action really well. The verticality he shows on the offensive end translates to here as well. There's even some potential for him to be a small ball 5 in certain situations. Guiding guys away from the basket with the body is something he's really good at too. He's also shown that he's stout enough to defend bigger guys in the post. Orlando will be betting on his upside and potential here, and I think this could be a really good pick for them. In his final season of college ball, Jared Butler averaged 31.7 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 9.1 assists per 100 possessions, while shooting 47.1% from the field and 42% from 3. Butler is a great shooter off the catch, and I fancy him a bit of a long-range sniper. He shoots well off the dribble too, and just punishes teams that go under on the pick and roll. He also hits jumpers in the mid-range, he showed that he can be a great scorer in isolation, and he snakes around screens well too. The handle is also buttery smooth, and he slithers through traffic beautifully. He's also great with his off-ball movement. As a passer, he makes plays in the open floor. He finds big men on his drives consistently, and flashes potential as a great pocket passer too. He also finds corner shooters consistently off the pick and roll. Defensively, he closes out well and showed he can cover a lot of ground. He also does a good job of staying in front of drivers and is a smart off-ball defender. There are some weaknesses though. He's not an offensive hub. His free throw numbers are low, he doesn't get to the basket a ton, and when he doesn't do a good job of initiating contact and struggles to finish when he's met with size. Overall, he's just not a terrific finisher at the rim. He's a little older as well, so his upside might be a little lower than other guys, but he projects to be one of the Magic's better young guards, and his ability to play point or the two means he'll probably get more playing time than you would expect. Ziaire Williams had a tough season with Stanford. They didn't play any games at home, the offense wasn't suited to him, and he had to deal with a lot of personal issues that meant he was in and out of the team. He averaged 22 points, 9.4 rebounds, and 4.5 assists per 100 possessions, while shooting 37% from the field and 30% from 3. He has a fluid jump shot and can hit them off the dribble. He took a lot of them, which shows that it's a shot he's really comfortable with. His length allows him to have a really high release point, and he's got some range in his jumpers as well. He operates the pick and roll well too, and just punishes defenders who choose to go under on him. The mid-range is an area where he excels in as well. He uses this in the pick and roll too when big men drop on him. The pull-up game is silky smooth, and his jab steps are borderline violent at times. He's also shown an ability to make tough shots in the mid-range. His abilities in isolation weren't always on full display due to Stanford's offense, but when he did get the opportunity, he was lethal, and I buy his potential to do this at the next level. There's potential for him to develop a step back too. His length helps him finish past guys, and that length also translates to the defensive end. He suffocates guys and makes it difficult for them to get good shots off. He's a really good on-roll defender and has good feet in the perimeter. His long arms allow him to poke balls away and get into passing lanes. He also anticipates passes and gets a ton of deflections. He also does a great job of getting around screens, and has even shown potential as a rim protector. He shows flashes as a good pick and roll operator. The handle is really fluid for a guy of his size, and he has a nice feel for making passes. He made some clever kick-out passes, and his height allows him to access passing angles smaller guys simply aren't able to. Here are the weaknesses though. The shot looks good, but blows hot and cold from game to game. He did take a ton of tough shots. I'm willing to place my confidence in the jumper though, because the mechanics look good, although it could be a touch faster. He struggles to score in the paint. He shot poorly close to the basket, and this is something that he will need to work on the next level. Fortunately for the Magic though, they do have time to do that. He's also very skinny and willing to pack on some weight to avoid being bullied at the NBA level. And finally, coming out of Australia, I'm going to suggest Josh Giddey. Giddey averaged 12.2 points, 8 rebounds and 8 assists per 36 minutes. with 40% while shooting 43% from the field and 30% from 3. He's a really creative passer in both the half court and in transition. He possesses the ability to make passes with both hands, and he has incredible timing on these passes, with an instinct for finding guys at the right time. He reads defenses to an exceptional degree and always has his head up looking for passes. He finds cutters consistently and does a good job of controlling the pace and tempo of the game. The Magic don't really have a playmaker on his level on the roster at the moment, so he could immediately provide a different dimension for them. He gets to the basket easily enough and does well to find big men for dump-offs. He is able to make a wide variety of passes too, including kickouts, wraparounds, and behind the back passes. In general, his passes are very pleasing to the eye. He operates the pick and roll well and can create for himself and others. He finishes well at the basket and can use both hands. He's not the most athletic guy, but when he finds holes in the defense, he penetrates them well, and this is where his length comes in handy. He's able to use his long strides to get past defenders and his long levers to finish past them. He even has a little explosiveness when he gets ahead of steam going to the basket. He has a little floater and mid-range game in the bag as well, and he's a smart off-ball cutter. The shot release is a little slow and stiff, but he made enough of them to keep defenses honest. The shot got better as the season progressed. He was a potential threat of a catch and shoot and started shooting off the dribble more later in the season. I could see him playing at either guard spots and even in some 3-guard lineups, so I don't think the Magic should be worried about the potential logjam they might have with all the young guards in the roster already. Well, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy that, please politely tap that like button. If you are new around here and you like draft content, please subscribe because there will be a ton more on the channel. Yeah, until next time, this has been your boy, Dr. McAllister. Have a good day.